Hello, race fans. The NASCAR SEGA Cup Series is finally back after a couple of weeks of a small hiatus, but we are finally here at Talladega Super Speedway, getting ready for the final race of the round of 12. This is going to be the Yellawood 500. Now, we do have 4 drivers on the verge of elimination. Zachary Fitzwater, Brandon Crass, Seth Cole, and James Qualls. So at a track like Talladega, anything can happen, and we got a perfect spotting of that last week when Cole Daly ended up winning last week in Charlotte due to pit strategy. Unfortunately, he was already eliminated from the championship, just as Cole Deaver was when he won at Kansas a couple of weeks ago. But this week, we're going to have a Sega Motorsports front row as Christina Bell wins the pole. And she has her teammate Joshua Osborne right beside her. But our highest starting chase contender right now is Allison Rain, who actually sits 5th in standings, but a terrible race here could ruin that. These guys are not really that separated. Allison Rain, she only has a 13-point advantage over 9th place right now, which was James Qualls. So any kind of mistake, if you finish deep in the field, that could possibly eliminate you from the round of 12. We have 29 laps to settle this, and we're only going to have 8 drivers competing for the championship after this. What kind of racing will we see here? When is the big one going to strike? I don't know, but who's to say, as we're just seconds away from those famous words in motorsports.
And now, race fans, the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines.
Guys, I just want everybody to remember today, we don't need to lead any lap until that last lap. That's the only one that matters today.
And as the drivers are rolling off pit road, here is your starting lineup for the Yellawood 500. The entire field is rolling out of turn 4 right now as we speak. Christina Bell running the Spider-Man 2 colors on her number 40, trying to bring that car into victory lane. She hasn't been in victory lane since Pocono. As the pace car makes that hard left onto pit road, both her and her teammate Joshua Osborne are going to lead 40 other drivers to try to get this race in the books. But a lot can happen in 29 laps. When is the big one going to strike? I don't know, but the entire field is immediately spreading out as the green flag is now out. Already seeing 4 wide racing as drivers are going to try to pick their lines and try to pick their partners. Heading out of turn 4 for the first time here today, and coming into the travel, Christina Bell tries to dive down to the inside, and oh man, there's contact! Oh no, oh man, the big one's already happening! Oh, that did not take long at all. We got drivers upside down, and there was contact between Danny Wells and James Qualls. Oh man, I think they just reignited their rivalry back from Darlington in the first race of the playoffs, as Christina Bell will lead them down to the caution as the pace car tries to catch up with the rest of the field. And oh no, Dustin Stoller, he sits on pit road with a lot of damage. And there is Alex Ferranti. Oh man, that's not what he wanted to see, as we see Poti deep down on the apron. And there's Danny Wells, who came in contact with James Qualls. I don't know if he's going to be too happy with that number 70 car as he runs the Penske truck rental colors here today. And oh no, there's Matt McIntyre on the inside. He's got a lot of front end damage. And Jake Rogers in the 94, he's up in smoke. Not a good day for the red Dodge here, as I'm trying to see if there's anyone else who has damage. And oh man, there's Alex Drayton with a lot of damage. And Zachary Fitzwater, oh no. Zachary Fitzwater, I believe he was one of the drivers on the edge of elimination. Oh man, this is not what the 4 needed at all. Zachary Fitzwater, one of the drivers on the bubble, as we have a few takers. Half the field is coming down pit road while the other half stays out. Well, while we try to see what happened, Brett Kennenberg is gonna be our race leader as this caution goes on. We're gonna have to take a look and see what happened between the number 12 and the number 70. Well, here's having to brought out our first caution. It looks like Levi McIntyre actually came down onto Danny Wells, and that unfortunately made him get hooked by the number 70 of James Qualls. Now, Danny Wells, his wheels lock up and he gets loose, and he gets right into Zachary Fitzwater and Alex Ferranti and Dustin Stoller. All three of those drivers had absolutely nowhere to go, as Matt McIntyre, both he, Dustin Stoller, and Alex Ferranti end up flipping. And oh man, Jake Rogers actually slams into the 43 of Jonathan Zorlin. That's what just causes this huge chain reaction, as Dustin Stoller and Alex Ferranti just barrel roll down the front straightaway. And Dylan Poti gets collected by this, but I don't think he actually hits anyone else. Ron Acosta, he goes deep on the apron to avoid all of this. Up ahead, Alex Ferranti is still upside down. We're going to have to get some onboards, as we see the 94 is up in smoke after his contact. Alex Ferranti continues to slide upside down, and he actually gets hit by Dylan Young. Yes, he does. Dylan Young had to slam down on the brakes, and luckily he narrowly avoids getting hit by the 43 of Jonathan Zorlin. Now, luckily this happened just before the start-finish line, so the pace car was actually able to catch the field before this got any worse. But Ferranti, he's stuck at the entrance of turn 1, stuck on his roof, so he's gonna have to teleport to pit road, as well as Dustin Stoller, who's also stuck on his roof just before the entrance of turn 1. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna have to get some onboards of this and see what they saw. Here we are with our first onboard look from the number 14 Rush Truck Center's Mustang of Alex Drayton. damage to his number 14. Now here we are riding on board with the number 23 DoorDash Toyota Camry of Brandon Crasta. But he narrowly avoids coming in contact with Jonathan Zola in the 43. Now here we are riding on board with the number 4 Busch Light Ford Mustang of Zachary Fitzwater. Absolutely nowhere for the 4 car to go as he came in contact with Danny Wells here, and he has major damage to the front of that number 4. And if he doesn't get that car repaired, then I think we have our first guaranteed elimination from the round of 12 in Zachary Fitzwater. Now here we are on board with the number 31 Great Clips Chevrolet Camaro of Dylan Poteet. He did have some initial contact, but luckily he stayed on the brakes and didn't get hit by anyone else. Now here we are with one final onboard camera from the number 12 Penske Truck Reynolds Ford Mustang of Danny Wells. Wells didn't really get that much damage, so he should be able to continue once he gets some fresh good years on that number 12. And here we are back at Talladega. We're going to restart on lap number 7 out of 29, and we have a few drivers who are now out of this race. They are Matt McIntyre, Dustin Stoller, Alex Franti, Jake Rogers, Jonathan Zolan, Danny Wells, Alex Drayton, and Zachary Fitzwater, who I'm pretty sure is now going to be eliminated from the playoffs. Our top 10 once we get back underway goes as follows. Brett Kenneberg is the race leader. James Qualls sits second. Third, RJ Bishop. Fourth, Dougie Shears. Fifth, Joshua Mudd. Sixth, Steven Gonzalez. Seventh is going to be Michael Norman. Eighth, Brandon Crasta. Ninth, Christina Bell. And rounding out the top 10 is going to be Chris Dollarton. As the drivers are now lining up double file as Brett Kenneberg prepares to take the lead on this restart. And just like at the start of the race, the green flag is now back out, and I don't think Brett Kenneberg got a good start. Oh man, James Qualls, he's gonna take complete advantage of the outside. James Qualls, he was one of the drivers that were on the bubble of elimination. With Fitzwater already eliminated, anything can happen here. But Qualls, he still needs to try to race his way into the round of 8. And with that lead, he's going to try to do just that. But look who's coming up in second place. Our winner the last time we were here, Dougie Shears. Dougie Shears right now he currently sits second in standings. If he doesn't crash here later today, I think he's already raced himself into the round of 8. As we're trying to have a 3 wide battle for the lead, Qualls continues to hang on to that outside while Joshua Mudd will lead that lap. But now here comes Michael Norman as they nearly made it 4 wide for the lead. Norman takes the lead away, looking to try to get his first oval victory of the season. His last victory came all the way back at Watkins Glen. Michael Norman can't really dive down to the inside. And oh no, here we go again. They're wrecking all over again. Oh man, that did not take long at all. The big one strikes once again. And that may have been another bit of the field here. As we now see that Joshua Osborne, he's trying to take the lead away from the middle. But here comes Nathan Hudson coming to the inside. And I do believe that Nathan Hudson will lead that lap, which he will do. Nathan Hudson will hang on to the lead. But now we have to see who is involved in this wreck. And Allison, oh man, Allison Rain, 5th in standings. There's our points leader, Dylan Young. And oh no, there's Steven Gonzalez with a lot of damage to his number 28. There's Brayson Mitchell with damage. Last week's winner, Cole Daly, Aaron Macklin, Sky Commons. And there's Christina Bell. Oh man, I need to see who's all involved. There's some rear damage to Charles Sanford. There's rear damage to Mitchell Collins in the 22. There's Levi McIntyre with the rear damage. There's Dylan Poteet, who I saw go around. And I really don't see any damage to the 31. Oh, never mind. He's got some right side damage to his 31. And oh man, I think half the field may be left from this. Well, we already had our second big one. Nathan Hudson is the race leader. So let's take a look and see what happened this time. Well, here's how to brought our second caution. Literally coming into turn 3. Oh man, a lot happened here. Christina Bell comes in contact with Brayson Mitchell, and they both come down right onto Charles Sanford. Dylan Poteet just got a little bit collected, but luckily with the two Roush Racing teammates getting together, that actually saves Poteet from getting worse damage. But Christina Bell, she barrel rolls right into the turn 3 wall, and just a lot happens here. RJ Bishop, he slammed right into the safer barrier, and his number 17 ends up in smoke, while Christina Bell barrel rolls down the track, and then oh man, further back, Cole Daly, he gets clobbered by Sky Commons as he slams hard into Steven Gonzalez, and it just sends the 18 just flying. Oh man, Sky Commons also ends upside down. Cole Daly, last week's winner, he ends up just tumbling on the apron. Just look at that 18 just fly. Oh man, just the 18 and the 10 just tumbling against each other. And oh man, it doesn't end there. Dylan Young, he also slams into Christina Bell, our points leader. He gets a lot of damage. I think it's safe to say that all these guys are going to be out of the race once this is said and done. Cole Daly continues to tumble as he eventually ends up back on his wheels. Oh man, it's just a junkyard. Just a junkyard in turn 3. I'm trying to bring it back just a little bit. Now, luckily, Stephen Colin, he dives down and misses all this, but just, oh man, just look at the initial contact between the 10 and the 18. I mean, words cannot describe the kind of crash that we just see here right now. Our second big one strikes here at Talladega, and we're going to have more drivers who are not out of the race. So stay tuned, race fans. And here we are back at Talladega. We're going to restart on lap 13 out of 29, and we got even more drivers who are not out of this race. They are Dylan Young, Aaron Macklin, Cole Daly, Sky Commons, Grayson Mitchell, Simon Oscon, Christina Bell, Allison Rain, Steven Gonzalez, RJ Bishop, and Levi McIntyre. Literally half the field is gone. Our top 10, once we get back underway, goes as follows as the drivers are now rounding out of turn 4. Joshua Osborne is the leader, Nathan Hudson second. Then we have Kyle Matthews, Chris Darlington, James McLeod. Then we have Nathan Orman, Brett Kennenberg, Cole Deaver, Michael Norman, and James Qualls. That's our top 10. Now, hopefully the big one doesn't strike again, but who's to say? These drivers are still trying to itch in the wind here, as Joshua Osborne will lead the field down to the green flag. And oh man, it looks like Joshua Osborne didn't really get that good of a start, as Nathan Hudson, he's going to do what Qualls did on the last restart and take advantage of the outside. Nathan Hudson, our winner all the way back at Road America, he wants to try to get his first oval win of the season here, as he's going to lead the field down the back straightaway. I think now that we lost half the field, things are slowly starting to calm down now, as we see that Nathan Hudson's trying to run away with that lead. And now we see two good friends trying to work together to try to catch that number 6 car. That's Michael Norman and Jessica Shelton here. Jessica Shelton, our winner from Bristol. She currently sits third in standings right now, as she's trying to bring Brandon Crasser along with her. Now she's looking to try to get to the inside of Michael Norman for second place. Nathan Hudson, you don't want to get too far ahead, because you could get freight trained at a track like Talladega. As we see a couple of drivers now trying to shuffle to try to find new partners to work with. And we now see Dougie Shears. He's trying to work on the inside, trying to work with Joshua Mudd here. Dougie Shears, he's trying to do what he can to sweep the Talladega races. He did get his very first Second Cup Series victory here under caution, but he wants to try to get a win under the green flag, as he's now going 3 wide for second place. And just look at the gaggle of playoff drivers behind him. One of them is Seth Cole. Seth Cole was one of the drivers on the verge of elimination, as he currently he's trying to get us second place by bringing Brandon Crasser along with him, another driver who was on the verge of elimination. But I don't know, it's still too soon to tell to see who the drivers in the round of 8 are going to be. They're all just shuffling positions right now, as Seth Cole, he will hang on to second place. Someone needs to try to work together to catch that number 6 car. If Sean Henley was still in our community, he'd probably be chanting Viva Viagra right now for his old Viva Viagra Cup Series, as Nathan Hudson continues to lead, running the Viagra colors on his number 6 car. Heading further back, and Ron Acosta just got turned! Ron Acosta just got turned, and I think he collected Dougie Shears, and oh man, they're still wrecking behind him! Michael Norman ends up spinning. Oh man, contact between the 78 and the 1. Oh man, that will bring out our third caution, as Nathan Hudson continues to lead. But now we have Brandon Crasser, James McLeod, Cole Deaver, and a few others just hard racing, just came in contact, and unfortunately, a couple of other drivers were collected in this. As Nathan Hudson will continue to lead, as he will catch the pace car. But oh man, there's Michael Norman. His number 21 is up in smoke. There's William Brock. He's also up in smoke. There's Nathan Orman. He's got a little bit of damage to his rear. Okay. Okay, there's Jessica Shelton with rear damage. She's third in standings, as I said earlier. And I think that may have been all who was involved. There's Mitchell Collins with rear damage to his number 22. There's Joshua Mudd. I believe he was also collected. And I also saw Dougie Shears go around. There's Poteet back here. I think he still has right side damage. There's a little bit of left side damage to the 38 of Brett Kennenberg. I think that accident could have ended up a lot worse. And I was trying to see if anyone was a lap down, and no, I don't think so. So there's no lucky chili dog as of yet. But Nathan Hudson continues to lead as we have our third caution of the day. When we restart, we're gonna be under 10 to go. Now, a lot can happen in these laps as we're gonna have a few drivers try to gamble and stay out for track position. But anyway, let's take a look and see what happened to bring out our third caution of the day. Well, here's how I'm going to brought out our third caution. Just heading into turn one, Ryan Acosta, excuse me, Ryan Acosta was trying to come down in front of Joshua Osborne, but I guess he misjudged it. And the one and the 78 come in contact together as Acosta slides up right in front of Brett Kennenberg and Joshua Mudd. And all three of them just get right into Dougie Shears as the 78 spins out in front of the 5. Ron Acosta, he finds himself locking up his wheels, but it doesn't end there. Acosta eventually gets going, but then further down, Michael Norman comes in contact with Jessica Shelton, and they end up getting together as both of them spin out right in front of James Qualls. Michael Norman hits the safer barrier as Ryan Acosta. No, that's William Brock. My mistake. William Brock comes in contact with the 21 as Norman spins out in the back straightaway, and Jessica Shelton actually gets hit by Nathan Ormond, which sends her spinning. Which sends her spinning right in front of Brett Kennenberg. We're gonna have to ride on board with that number 38 to see what he saw. But and it looks like that William Brock, he actually hits the safer barrier on the inside. Bring it back a little bit to see the initial contact. His 42 is already up in smoke, and as he just slams the inside wall. I don't think I've ever seen a car actually hit that inside wall there. But oh man, William Broad, that's another Sega Motorsports driver coming in trouble here today. As we see Michael Norman, he's trying to get himself together as Joshua Mudd just barely misses out on hitting Jessica Shelton. Before we head back to live action, let's ride on board with the number 38 Georgia Peanuts Ford Mustang of Brett Kennenberg. As you can see that Kennenberg, he just narrowly avoids hitting Jessica Shelton while she was spinning out in the back straightaway. And here we are back at Talladega. We're going to restart on lap 21 out of 29. The laps are winding down. And we have 3 more drivers who are now out of this race. They are William Brock, Nathan Ormond, and Michael Norman. We got 20 drivers left. Our leader right now is Kyle Matthews. By this time last season, he was a chase contender going for the season 3 championship, and he's looking to try to get his first win with his new team here. And he's gonna have his teammate right behind him in 3rd place. 4th now is Jessica Shelton. 5th now is gonna be Nathan Hudson. 6th, Brandon Crasta. 7th, James McLeod. 8th, Cole Deaver. 9th, Tim Fiegel. And rounding out the top 10 is Seth Cole. A lot can happen in these final 9 laps as we're about to get here underway. Hopefully with our final restart, hopefully we won't have another caution. And if we do, we might have to settle for a green-white checker as the green flag is now back out. And it seems like the outside line is the preferred line. As Joshua Mudd, he tried to get a start on the outside like a few other drivers have, but Kyle Matthews, he's on the charge on the inside. He is looking to try to run away with that lead. With only 20 cars left, I think it's gonna be tough to say when another caution is gonna come out. At least I hope another one doesn't come out. As Kyle Matthews, he's gonna try to do what he can to run away with that lead, but he's gonna have some hungry playoff drivers right behind him, and Brandon Crasta is one of them. Brandon Crasta, he's looking, and oh no, Matthews, he could not make it the rest of the way. He tried to roll the dice and see if he could make it, but he could not make it as he is coming down pit road. Now Brandon Crasta, he's going to try to run away with that lead as Jessica Shelton also comes down pit road. Brandon Crasta hasn't been in victory lane since Infineon, and Tim Fiegel, who just took 2nd place, he hasn't been in victory lane since Phoenix earlier this season. Nathan Hudson, he went to victory lane at Road America, and James McLeod, he has yet to go to victory lane this year. The last time he was in victory lane was actually the season 3 finale at Armory Digital when he drove the 91 out of Everham. But right now it's a 4-car race to try to settle this thing. James Qualls, he's running by himself in 5th place right now, and we're having a battle for 6th between Seth Cole and Charles Sanford. 8th now is Dougie Shears, our winner the last time we were here, and we're having a heated battle for 9th and 10th between Dylan Pote, Joshua Osborne, and Cole Deaver. And oh man, with these drivers leaving pit road, who's to say that this is going to come down to another pit strategy race? And right now, this is Brandon Crasta's race to lose. He came into this race 11th in standings, and a win here would automatically put him into the next round, and it would definitely change up the drivers who needed to try to race their way in and who gets eliminated. I don't know, but Brandon Crasta, he needs to try to do everything he can to protect that lead, but he's going to have a hungry James McLeod trying to represent for Tweenix Racing here today. James McLeod finds himself in 2nd place as he is all over the back bumper of that 23. Our top six consists of playoff drivers, and only one of them isn't a playoff driver, and that's Nathan Hudson in the 6th. But now we're having a battle for the lead. James McLeod, he's looking to the inside of Brandon Crasta for position, and here comes James Qualls here. And oh man, James Qualls, he can't make it. He's coming down pit road. James Qualls, one of the drivers risking elimination here. He the last time he was in victory lane was back at the first playoff race at Darlington. As we head back to the front, now we see Seth Cole trying to get into this now. Seth Cole hasn't been in victory lane since Atlanta, and he's also another driver. He actually came into this race 12th out of the 12 drivers risking elimination. And oh man, a victory here would definitely put him into the next round here. So I don't know. So we actually have a couple of drivers here who actually have everything to lose. I believe the only driver that's actually safe in this group is actually Tim Fiegel. Tim Fiegel, he sits 6th in standings, and I believe a good finisher will automatically put him into the next round. But the laps are winding down. We only have 4 laps to go, and it's all about James McLeod. You know, man, they're trying to look to put the 77 a lap down. We're still green flag racing here as they have to try to do what they can to split the 77. I don't think the 77 is slow, but now Tim Fiegel and Seth Cole, they're going to have to try to do what they can. But McLeod, he's still hanging on to that lead on the outside, but he's about to get passed by his former boss, Seth Cole. Seth Cole, formerly of Tweenix Racing, he decided to come down to Hendrick Motorsports, and he is going to try to use Kyle Matthews as a drafting partner to get around that 51 car. And oh man, the laps are winding down. We have three laps to go. Seth Cole will take the lead away as he will continue to use Kyle Matthews. As oh man, now we see Nathan Hudson battling James McLeod for 2nd place. And I believe we have more drivers come down pit road as we have further back. Cole Deaver, he's all the way back here. There's Chris Darlington with the second group of drivers. Headed back to the front though, but we need to keep an eye on this. And oh man, Seth Cole, he can't make it. Tim Fiegel, and Nathan Hudson are coming down. That's going to give the lead over to James McLeod in the 51 as we now have 2 laps to go. Can James McLeod hang on for 2 laps, or will Brendan Krasser be able to spoil the party? One of these drivers could possibly race their way into the round of 8. But as long as James McLeod doesn't have to come down pit road, or Brendan Krasser doesn't get a run, which he's trying to do. Oh man, Brendan Krasser trying to decide what he wants to do, and McLeod, he's trying to throw it on the block, but they're making it 3 wide. Oh man, Brendan Krasser's trying to go for the lead, but now we have to see if any of these drivers have to come down to pit. And Brendan Krasser, he cannot make it, but McLeod, he's going to try to roll the dice. We're coming to the white flag now. We're coming to the white flag, and McLeod, he better hope that he doesn't run out of gas. If he runs out of gas, this is going to be a long drive around the track. He has Kyle Matthews working to try to get his lap back. But James McLeod, last season, he only had 1 victory out of Everham Motorsports. He came down the victory lane on a last lap pass and crash to capture a win here. But coming out of turn 4 for the final time here, making no indicate. Oh no, wait a minute. He's coming down pit road. Oh man, he's coming down pit road. And you know how long pit road is. This is literally the white flag. But who's in 2nd place right now? I'm going to have to keep an eye on McLeod. He's going to have to gas and go. I have no idea who's in 2nd place right now. And it looks like it's just gas and go for the 51. But I have no idea who's in 2nd place. I'm going to have to try to keep an eye on the 51. As he is slowly coming down pit road going 54 miles an hour. And I do believe that this is the race for the victory. The ticker has not yet updated, and I do believe that this is the checkered flag. It says completed, and I do believe that James McLeod has just won this race. There's Brendan Krasser and Tim Fiegel, and yes, the ticker has indeed updated. The winner of this race, the Yellawood 500, will go to James McLeod. Our Chevy winning moment. Congratulations, James McLeod, as he just raced himself right into the round of 8. Oh man, I don't think I've had a driver win a race down pit lane since all the way back in season 2 when Alexander Jones in the 11 came down pit road and won the race back at Darlington Raceway. But James McLeod will come down on top here thanks to pit strategy as he will take home the Yellawood 500. Oh man, what a way to end a race. S4 Yellow 500. Race number, I believe this is race number 32. Yes, and this race is indeed in the books. What a way to end a race. It came down to pit strategy, and the veteran James McLeod captures his first win of the season, and I do believe that this is his second victory overall of his second Cup Series career, as he will take home Talladega. Brendan Craster will end up second place here today, and I do believe that might be enough for him to race himself into the round of 8. Tim Fiegel, he ends up third place. I think he is also safe for the round of 8. Seth Cole ends up fourth, which I believe that he is also race his way into the round of 8. Nathan Hudson rounds out the top 5 here. A good run for the 16. Then we have Dougie Shears, Cole Deaver, Joshua Osborne, Chris Dollarton. Then Kyle Matthews rounds out the top 10. A good run for the 77. Then we have Charles Sanford, Dylan Pote, Cody Lamas, James Qualls, and Brett Kennebrew round out the top 15. Then we have Mitchell Collins, Stephen Colin, Ron Acosta, and Joshua Mudd ended up being the last car running on the lead lap. And then rounding out the 20th, a lap down, was actually Jessica Shelton in the top 20. And then from 21st on down to 42nd, we have Michael Norman, Nathan Ormond, William Brock, Levi McIntyre, RJ Bishop, Steven Gonzalez, Allison Rain, Christina Bell, Samit Oscon, Brayson Mitchell, Sky Commons, Cole Daly, Aaron Macklin, Dylan Young, Zachary Fitzwater, Alex Drayton, Danny Wells, Jonathan Zorlin, Jake Rogers, Alex Ferranti, Dustin Stuller, and Matt McIntyre. Well, race fans, Talladega is indeed in the books. The next time the Second Cup Series is on YouTube, we will be in the round of 8, and that will start at Texas Motor Speedway. So don't forget to tune into that, race fans, and hopefully it won't take me long to get that race up and running. Congratulations one last time to James McLeod for winning the Yellawood 500, and we'll see you guys at the Lone Star State.
This copyrighted upload may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized consent of TrentTheHedgie. The NASCAR SEGA Cup Series would like to thank all of the fans for their support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.